Hey everyone, Lee with LG Speed and Custom here, and in this video we are back on our ultimate car hauler build. So in the last video we did on the trailer, we built a whole new door from scratch, a whole new aluminum door. I wasn't quite sure what to do with the exterior of the trailer because it is in really bad shape. And I know a lot of people had some good suggestions and stuff, but in the end, I've decided to fully reskin the trailer. Just every single panel has damage on it, or we got a little bit of corrosion coming through here. It's, I don't know, I think it was like a drive-by braille trailer. So these sheets are, they're 49-inch panels, which are very, very expensive. So what I have done that is cost a fraction of what it would cost to buy all new 49-inch panels is I just got some 48-inch panels. Jim has already got a jump start on us. He started on this yesterday and has stripped the front panels off the trailer, put new ones on, and he's just screwing them back together now. So this will be kind of the finished look of the trailer, just a nice brushed aluminum. So while he's doing that, I have gone ahead and started removing all the trim off the bottom of the trailer here. I got the wheel flares off. Here's some of the trim here. It's not an easygoing process. These are not Torx bits. These are double square bits. And the only place that I can get these bits is off Amazon. When I first bought this trailer off my friend Ryan, he gave me a couple that he'd bought, and they don't last very long. You can get like 3 or 4 screws out, and then as soon as you get one that's tight and strips, it just destroys the bit. So I quickly went through the bits that he supplied. So I bought 2, I think these are 10 packs from Amazon. They had the best rating. They were supposed to be the highest quality, and they're still terrible. This double square bit business sucks. It's awful. So what we've resorted to doing is we're just cutting them all off. Cutting all the heads off because we're putting new panels and new screws in anyway, so it doesn't really matter. These guys down here, I'm just using the little zip disc just so that we do minimal damage while we cut them off, because we're going to be reusing this trim. So yeah, I guess in this video here, we'll be stripping all the panels off and putting new panels on. So hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I've got the door that we built back off along with the door frame. That top piece came off with there's like a little rain cap that came off with it. I think this piece is just about ready to come out. I think it's just friction holding it in now. Most of these screws I got out in the first video. There was only one that I had to come back and cut. When I took this trim off, instead of using the little impact gun, I just used the 1/4-inch ratchet with one of these bits in there, and it seems to be, I think that might be, wow, another piece just fell off. Cool. But I think that's the answer with those guys. The impact gun just spins them right off. So we'll get this piece off, trace a new panel, and yeah, start reskinning. Jim's just finishing up front here. He put the lower checker plate panel back on. He just put the top trim piece back on, and now he is Just putting some urethane on there to seal it up. Boom. Jim's gonna start cutting these panels and putting them on, and I'm gonna keep working my way down, removing old panels. So these guys, if you'll remember when we took the door off, that bottom hinge right there had these theft deterrent Torx bits, which in my opinion are totally redundant, because this is 30 thou aluminum. You can just cut through, you could probably cut through this with a knife, like a steak knife. So I can't get to the backside. I don't have these bits. I'm not gonna go to the store and buy them. What I'm gonna do is weld some 1/2-inch nuts on there and then see if they'll turn out with just a 3/4 inch socket on the end of my ratchet. I don't want to use an impact gun in case, because sometimes it'll just break the weld. So let's give that a try and see what happens. This is the area where the roof was leaking, so I'm expecting there to be some corrosion on those threads. I'm gonna clamp them with some vice grips, and then I can just put the ground on the end of the vice grips like such. I'm only gonna do one and then try it in case it doesn't work. The other cool thing about doing this is the heat from welding it on is going to go into the threads, and it's the same as when you like heat a seized bolt up with the torch and it breaks all the threads loose. Yeah! How do you like that? Alright, I'll do that for all of them. I just got this, I guess, third panel. We got first, second, just a little guy for the second, third panel off. We've lost Jim for the rest of the day, probably the rest of the weekend, so I'm on my own now. So rather than continuing to pull panels off, I'm gonna start putting panels on as I pull them off. That way, you know, hopefully by the end of the day, if I don't get the whole side done, we don't have like a giant gaping hole so that somebody comes in the middle of the night and steals Lux's pedal car contraption that we haven't built yet. So I have Jim started laying out some marks here, and I've continued on and laid out where we put every screw. So we're keeping continuity with the door. When the door was still on, we figured out how high the screws are from the center of, or the bottom of the trailer, and Jim has laid these out so that when you look down the side, all the screws are on the same plane. Shannon brought up an interesting point. I put these screws every 12 inches. She noticed that the factory puts their screws a lot closer. In fact, they put them every 3 inches, and she said there's probably a reason they do that, probably for strength. I'm assuming that a company like Hallmark, if they could save money on screws, they probably would. So we have decided to, I didn't go every 3 inches like they did, but I'm doing better than the every 12 inches like I was doing on the door, and every 6 inches we've got a screw now, which I think will be okay. We'll give it a try. If we go down the highway and all the panels fly off, then we'll just stop and put them back on with a screw every 3 inches. But yeah, 6 inches looks okay though. All our screws are in, so just like I did on the door, I'm going to start peeling the coating off, pull the screws out, peel it back, put the screws back in, and work our way all the way down. All right, we're on day 3 now. Still no Jim. He's got the day off today, but I've got this crew coming in to help. So yesterday, I managed to get these 3 panels on. We've got our door frame back on and our little rain cap back on. I haven't peeled this stuff off yet because I want to put some strips in here. Those other panels being 49 inches. The reason they're 49 inches is so that they overlap each other. And these ones being 49 inches, we can't do that because it will screw up our stud location. So my solution is, where'd our trim go? This is the trim that goes down on the bottom here. And it's, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe 1/4 inch thick. Anyways, I was just gonna get some flat bar and run some aluminum flat bar on each strip like here, and I think it'll look fine. It'll save a ton of money because these panels were like 70 bucks a panel, and to buy the 49-inch ones was like $200 a panel, so huge savings. Anyways, we're just gonna continue on stripping some stuff down. Maybe Shannon can start stripping panels off and I'll start hanging new panels, and we'll see how the day goes. This side is done, other than we still got to put our flat bar on, which I don't have yet. And I don't want to peel this off until I got the flat bar all like pre-drilled and everything, just because I don't want to get fingerprints on it and have to clean them. So although I'm very eager to see what it looks like all in aluminum, but I can wait. Patient enough to wait. I still have to put this lock bar back on. Shannon was going to paint it before her and Lux had an appointment at some tart place. I don't know. I got ditched. I got ditched for snacks. So before she left, she forgot to paint it though. So I don't know if I should paint it, or she was pretty excited about it. I might leave it for her. She did get most of the back door stripped. Most of the screws are out. There's a couple that we still have to cut. So I think the back door is the next step. I really underestimated how much work this was going to be. I thought I could do most of this trailer in a weekend. And yeah, I started this morning when Shannon came down to help me. That was just after 9. And it's almost 4 o'clock now. And I've got 1, 2, 3 panels done. It's getting the old ones off. It just takes forever to get all those screws out. Ran into some more of these guys. Thankfully the welding the nut on trick seems to be working. I'm not sure what's behind there. I opened the door and it's got a wooden subfloor that like your car drives on. So without taking the subfloor out, I can't see what these actually thread into. But whatever it is, they came out. Or at least that one did. All right, it's the next day. Last night, Shannon and I got the back door all stripped, and she got a bunch of screws out of the side. So my friend Vanessa is helping today. And I got the back door all covered, so peeling it back, because it's pretty much done now. The only thing still left to go on is the little latches for these guys. They're just drying right now. I gave them a coat of paint. If you're curious how they attach, there's a big plate right there that's just drilled and tapped. So I drilled and tapped it in the right spot this time, because the other ones were very crooked. So they're not crooked now. Vanessa double checked them. Bam. If you want to see more aluminum peeling videos, go check out Jim's channel, Norman Livingston, on YouTube. He's got lots of good stuff on there. Okay, our back door is all done and put back together. I spun the trailer around this morning, and Jim has started down this side. Got our license plate on, a CTA license plate frame. Sorry, it's really windy today. This side I painted the door bar, it's back on, and I took an energy suspension bump stop and put it here because the wind earlier today, it caught the door and put a couple dents in it from slamming against the side, so hopefully that'll prevent that from happening. Went and picked up all the flat bar today. This is all 1/8 inch, 1 1/4 to go in between our seams. So I think I'm gonna pre-drill all these holes first, and then we'll put them on after. So I've got 11 pieces of aluminum flat bar here. They're all stacked up, flushed up, and then I've marked, center punched a little hole at the top, and then we've got center punches every 6 inches, so that in theory, if my math is correct, these should line up with the existing screws in the panels. 1/8 inch drill bit, let's just start drilling them through. I realized after I clamped this to the bench that it might have been better to clamp them together and run them through the drill press, but here we are. It'll be okay. So I've taken a angle finder and got the angle off. Hey, look what stuck to that. Remember those guys? I got the angle off the back of the trailer so I can make these level. I've got 2 screws holding it in there now. And kind of what my plan is to like pre-fit them all. And then we're gonna take them off, and I've got some panel adhesive. This is for like gluing body panels and trailer panels and stuff together. We're gonna pull those back off, put a little bit of panel adhesive on, and then screw them back on. So the screws are mainly gonna hold it on. With the panel adhesive, my idea with that is it will kind of make it waterproof somewhat. I'm not expecting this thing to be like 100% submarine waterproof, and I'm okay if it's not. I just want to keep, like, going down the highway and stuff, I just want to keep my car somewhat dry, so I think it'll be okay. Before I pulled that flat bar, oh man, we almost lost the flat bar. Before I pulled the flat bar off, I just scribed both sides with a razor blade so that I can peel the plastic off before putting the panel adhesive on. And this is still going to have plastic on it, so if we smear too much and it gets weird, you know, it's kind of like masking paper, kind of, maybe. I did one pass right in the seam to try to like close that seam up and waterproof it, and then I did another zigzag pass afterwards. Damn it. Just to make my life difficult the day that I have to take this off. And we're done. Wow, that was a ridiculous amount of work. I severely underestimated this. I thought I could do it in like a weekend, you know, maybe start Friday. I think Jim started on it on like a Wednesday afternoon, and then he worked on it Thursday, and then both of us worked on it all day Friday. I thought it'd be done by Sunday. No, it took 7 days to finish this trailer, mostly because the old panels were so much labor just to get them off because of those stripped and rusted and C screws that we had to cut. So anyways, I think it looks significantly better than it did. I'm very happy with the turnout or the layout on it, how it looks. Hopefully it holds up and it's okay. I realize it is gonna like start to oxidize over time. It's gonna get scratches in it. It's a trailer, it's gonna be a race car trailer, so, you know, Lux is gonna touch it. He's already touched it and got fingerprints in it, and yeah, we could wipe the fingerprints off, but it does leave little streaks and stuff. It'll be fine. It's gonna be just fine. No one's ever like driven by an old Airstream and been like, wow, look at the fingerprints in the corner of that door. Like that's just part of it. I'm happy with it. 75% improvement, I would say. And that's only because there's a couple things, if we were to do this again, that we could do to make it better. But this is the first time I've ever skinned a trailer, so there was a learning curve. So the next step for the next video we do on this trailer is we got to put some windows in it. I got a bunch of windows from my friend Charlie a while ago. I don't know where we're going to put them yet. Shannon and I will have to lay them out and figure that part out. And Shannon wants to insulate it, which I'm okay with. I was a little hesitant on insulating this trailer just because of the price of insulation compared to how often we actually camp in it or stay in it at racetracks. Like realistically, we only stay in it maybe 3 weekends a year. But hopefully that'll improve. I want to start doing more racing stuff now, especially now that we got the trailer. That was kind of the reason for building this. So we priced out some insulation the other day, and I don't think it'll be too bad. I think it'll be less than I originally thought, so we'll probably insulate it. The only time it was really hot in our old trailer, which was not insulated, if you guys remember a couple years back when we did the like 3-week tour where we went to Hot Rodorama and then we went to Bonneville, and we were all over kind of like Oregon, Idaho, Utah, and it was really hot. I think the hottest day we had was 117 Fahrenheit. Blistering hot. And it was a little hard to sleep in the trailer in the evenings, so maybe some insulation would help for that. Anyways, we'll cover all that in another video. I am going to spend the rest of the time, the rest of the day, working on the Roadster. We got to build some throttle linkage because the string worked to get me to that car show last week, but it's time to actually make it right. So thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the trailer video and want to show some support, please check out the website, lgspeedandcustom.com. We've got all sorts of LG Speed and Custom merch, as well as LG Speed and Custom hot rod parts that you can buy for your build at home. So drop by, check it out, exit through the gift shop, as they say. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.